Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video. I'm doing kind of a few in a row because I've got a bit more time at the moment. So this one is answering the age-old question that we've all asked at one point. Is it better to go cheap and buy one of those mass-produced pedals like Joyo or Mosky or whatever? Or is it worth the money buying something boutique, handmade by, one or two people or a small company, made in the US or Australia or wherever? And of course, this question is asked about no pedal more than the Klone style overdrive pedal. So I've got two Klone overdrives for you here. One is the very famous Mosky Silver Horse. It also comes in a Golden Horse, which is without the switch. The switch does minor adjustments to the output mostly, but other than that, the Silver Horse is pretty much the same as the Golden Horse. And it is one of the most popular cheap Klone clones that you see out there. You see it always being posted about in forums, in Facebook groups and things like that. It's very popular. I got mine for $40 from a retailer in Australia, but you definitely can get it cheaper. I've seen it for like $25 on eBay, so you can get it cheaper than $40, that's for sure. The boutique Australian-made pedal we've got is the Kink Femtor. I hope I'm saying that right, which is their Klone style overdrive pedal. This is handmade in Melbourne, Australia. It's made of quality components. This is a fairly low serial number one, I believe. Not that that makes any difference, but yeah, it's a great sounding Klone clone. I think they say on their website it uses true to form Russian diodes, if that means anything to you. So they're the two pedals we've got to shoot out. We're going to cut to the shootout straight away. We're going to do the three most popular sounds for a Klone pedal, which is a clean boost, a overdrive, distortion type thing, and then boosting a dirty amp as well. So we're going to hear those now. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and then afterwards I'm going to give you my thoughts on which I preferred. So all the sounds you just heard were played through this VHT Marshall Blues Breaker type amp. We were playing both pedals through that amp and just going back and forth, as you could see. Now, please let me know which one you preferred in the comments below. If I had to choose one, I think it would definitely be the Kink Femtor, and not just for the tone. So I've tried a bunch of Mosky pedals. I reckon I've tried like 7 or 8 Mosky pedals, And this is one of 3 out of those 7 or 8 which have not broken on me. And that says a lot about the build quality. They're definitely, they do feel quite cheap. They look quite cheap. The switch feels cheap. So does this switch. The knobs are awful. The case is really light and it's a really thin metal case. It's probably not going to last on the road terribly long. But if you're just in a bedroom at home jamming, it's, you know, a great affordable Klone pedal. I do think the Femtor, let me just get that, does sound better. Only very slightly though, to be fair. I think the Mosky had more gain in it and a bit more bite in the EQ. This one was a bit more mellow, a bit more full in the gain structure. I think it excelled at all 3 applications, whereas the Mosky excelled particularly boosting a dirty amp and being its own distortion as well. This, I can tell you, is built like an absolute tank. It's such a solid metal enclosure. I've dropped this like 2 or 3 times from like a high amp and it's survived. Looks really cool, sounds great. Yeah, this one's built so much better. If you have a look inside, it's just beautifully made. I don't think anyone's surprised by this question anymore when they're asked what's better, the cheap mass-produced one or the expensive boutique, you know, small numbers, whatever, handmade one. I think no one's surprised that 9 times out of 10, the boutique, more expensive one is better, because that's just how it's obviously going to be. You're spending more money on components, you're spending more money on R&D for the pedal. Of course, it makes sense that the expensive one is going to be somewhat better, whether that's slightly better or heaps better. That's up for you to decide. But that doesn't mean that the cheap pedals are, it doesn't mean they have no place in this world, because they definitely have a place. I spent, you know, the first few years buying pedals of my pedal collecting buying life, just buying Joyo and K-Line pedals. I've still got a lot of them because they still sound fantastic, and I wasn't gigging back then, so, you know, I never took them out, and they've survived. And some of the Joyo ones these days will survive. So there's no free lunch here. You do get what you pay for with these pedals. But having said that, please let me know what you thought in the comments below, which one you preferred. I'm interested to see how many of you prefer the cheap one. On my previous distortion shootout between 2 Marshall style pedals, there was a lot of comments for both sides, which I thought was really interesting. So please comment below. And that's it from me for this video pretty much. So I will see you guys in the next one.